How to start a YouTube channel. It's super simple. Make an email, then make a YouTube account, then boom, you're a YouTube creator. That's it. That's the end. Just kidding. Zeke and I have come up with 8 points to help you start your YouTube channel. Number 1, your channel name, and number 2, your character. 1 and 2 coincide together, so we'll talk about them simultaneously. Decide if you want to use your personal name or if you want to make your character. If you use your personal name, it's obviously using your real name plus using things from your everyday life to incorporate it and share it with the community. Your character can be you, but slightly altered. For instance, Chedley and Zeke. We only show the happy, entertaining parts of our lives. It enables our personal lives to have a little more privacy, and it gives us a little more leeway to act out of character. Or you could do a complete 180 and make a character that's totally different from who you are. An example of this would be Mr. Bean and Rowan Atkinson. Obviously, they're completely different people. Mr. Bean doesn't talk. Rowan Atkinson talks. If you have your character name, then you can most likely come up with a title for your channel. If you have a channel name, then most likely your character name will follow after that. Number 3, strengths. Decide what direction you want your video to go to. What are your strengths? So this can be gameplay, vlogging, reviewing items, music, or any other talents that you'd like to share with the community. I'll talk about these 5. We'll start off with gameplay. Gameplay will be you're either good at playing games or you're entertaining with playing games. Okay? So what I mean by good at playing games, an example would be like pro gamers. Sometimes when you watch them play, they are not necessarily talking, but that's because the content that they're producing speaks for itself. They're good at what they do. They don't need to talk. When you say entertaining, I mean something like our Resident Evil 2 demo video, where I was playing and I necessarily wasn't good at playing the game, but at least it was entertaining. Don't do it. At least I think it was entertaining. Okay, so the next one is vlogging. There are people who are good at talking and who are good at explaining with things and holding a camera straight. But they stay at home all the time. So there's nothing exciting. There's nothing attention grabbing in their videos. There's no content. So it's boring. You need to go out. And just because I say you need to go out doesn't mean going out will solve all your problems. When I say go out, I mean go outside, be able to speak well, be able to explain well, and be able to do it publicly well. All right? The next one is reviewing items. Okay? So if you're limited with your funds, you can review something that you already own. And if you're good at it, it can be like even some specs on paper. For instance, even though the Samsung Galaxy S10 has been released, it doesn't mean that you can afford to have it or even have it in general. That means you can just go to their website and you can show the specs that the phone has, and you can go over them and you can compare it to the old ones and other phones even. The next one is music. When I say music, I mean playing instruments or singing. It doesn't have to be both at the same time, all right? There's YouTube content creators where they just do instruments or they just sing and they still make quality content. It will be watched. People will watch it. Just as long as you remember to follow the copyright laws. All right, we'll make a video about it later, so I hope you stay tuned. And then finally, you can share any other talents that you wish to share with the community. Okay, so once you've mastered that one strength of yours, you can start to broaden out and add on other things, other strengths that you want to do. An example of someone who's done this could be like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. All right, they're both really well-known YouTube stars, but they started out with their gameplay videos. That's where they rooted from. And then once that was established and they had a good base, then they branched out from that. Number 4, practice. Don't be dumb. Okay? Come prepared. You already have a loose plan of what you're going to do and what you need to say. This part is like going to an exam that you haven't studied for. You're going to look stupid. Okay? You already, like I said, you already have a plan of what you're doing. Make a script around it. Have an idea of where you're coming from and where you want to go. All right? This is especially true if you're live streaming or live vlogging. You don't want it to be filled with ooh, ah, and you don't want those awkward silences in there, all right? And then you have to realize that there are some things that you only have one chance to film it, okay? Like I said before, you have a plan. You know what you're going to do. An example would be like if I was going on an airplane ride, all right? I already know where I'm going to be. So make a plan. Be like, I'm going to shoot from this angle. I'm going to be sitting like this, so I have to shoot from this angle. If you're by the window, do like the cliche shot outside the window where you look outside the clouds and be like, ooh, ah, clouds, land, all right? You can't do one where you're like, practice, because next thing you know, you've landed at your destination and you can't go up to the pilot and be like, hey, yo, I didn't get the shot I wanted. Can we go back? It's not going to happen. Okay. So what happens when you've done 1, 2, 3, and 4? You come to number 5. You need a camera, all right? You need a camera that is 720p to 1080p, all right? So let's put it this way. 720p and 1080p, it's kind of like 50%. It's the bare minimum. That's what you need. 100% is a 4K camera. It's nice to have, but it's not necessary. It's not your priority right now, okay? Most people who watch YouTube videos usually watch it at 720p or 1080p anyways, okay? If you don't have this, it's going to look really awkward. It's going to look like Minecraft or look like an 8-bit picture, all right? An example would be like, hey, I'm vlogging. I've gone to Banff. Look at this. Oh, the camera is rolling and the sky is beautiful. It's blue. The town site is amazing. The mountain is so clear and crisp. And then I turn and let me show you guys. And I turn it and it comes out. I don't know what that is. For all I could know, it's looking at dog poop. It looks like Pac-Man. I don't know what it is. All right. So 720 to 1080p camera. Number 6, a computer. Okay. You need a computer that can not just install an editing software, but also run the editing software, okay? I can't stress it enough. R-U-N, run. Run the editing software, okay? If we're going to use the 50% example again, running your editing software is the 50%. Installing the editing software is less than 50%, okay? 100% in this case would be the fastest, the top tier computer with the best graphics and CPU, okay? You need to be able to run it, okay? Your video, if you don't have the editing software, your video is going to end up being like 3 hours long and it's going to have like 500 outtakes and your video should have been 10 minutes long. At that point, you might as well have just live streamed it. Number 7, your microphone, okay? The audience wants to be able to hear you crisp and clearly, all right? In this one, let's say 50%, if we're using the 50% again, is that I can hear you, but I can also hear all the other extraneous sounds that's going on around you, all right? I can hear the car from over there. I can hear your air vent going off. I can hear someone laughing over here. So this one, you want your initial microphone to be about a 70 to 80%, all right? I want it to be able to do a cardioid, which means I can only hear what's in this cone, this space, all right? Up to a certain distance. That's all I want to hear is you in front of it, okay? I don't want to hear a video where I start losing audio or if I hear crackling. And I definitely don't want a video where it's like I'm on an airplane and all I hear is this sound where you're talking, but I don't know what you're saying. I don't want that, okay? Nobody wants that. It hurts my ears and it just sounds bad. Don't do it. Get yourself a good microphone, all right? But if you can only afford let's say a 30 to 50% microphone, That being like a cell phone or a microphone without cardioid where you can hear everything. Go to a space that's quiet. Go to a space where the environment works for you, okay? Make less work for yourself. Number 8, it's kind of a trick question. Number 8 is what to upgrade, all right? The answer to this is that it depends on what kind of channel you have. Okay, for us, for Chedley and Zeke, we would want to upgrade our computer because rendering on our computer takes forever. We want to be able to edit it and put it out onto our channel so that everyone can see it fast, all right? So a computer for us would be amazing, just so it would take down the time for rendering. Moving on to a different focus, if you're into videos, so for example, like you're doing videos for a wedding, you want to be able to upgrade your camera or your video camera because you want a clear video resolution, all right? Chances are if you're in this kind of work, your client wants quality over quantity. You'll have a time frame, okay? Rendering may take a longer time, but at the end of it, your image will be beautiful. It'll be wonderful. You can see every detail in it, all right? And then moving on from that one, if your focus is in music, then you'll want to upgrade your microphone and your audio interface, all right? You don't want a microphone sitting in front of the amp while you're playing. It's gonna sound really bad. I want to be able to hear your voice if you're singing really crispily. I want to be able to hear your voice clearly. And then if you have an audio interface, then it'll focus on your instrument rather than all the other sounds that's going on. All right. So those are our 8 tips. If you found these videos helpful, I hope that you would hit that like button and hit our subscribe button because we'll be doing more videos like this, other info vlogs. If you would like to see a different video or have a suggestion on it, just leave us a comment down below. Please don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notifications on our new videos. We also have a bunch of social media that you could follow, such as Twitter, Instagram, and a Facebook page. But until the next time, this is Chedley, and I am signing off.